this week, as well as looking at next cohort in the fall. We have 2 people already applied for the fall cohort. So we're getting a lot of traction, a lot of interest, and this is just the beginning. So we cannot wait. We cannot wait to see what comes out of this.
Fantastic. That's exactly what I wanted to hear. So you've got people interested in the summer cohort and the fall cohort. All right. Well, that's good to know. So let's go ahead and kick off. And why don't you introduce yourself, Latoya? Actually, let me just introduce myself real quick for the people. Like, who is this person? Hi, everyone. So I'm Christine Edwards, and I operate a company called Amplify Consulting, also known as Amplify Charlotte. We're here in Charlotte, North Carolina, and we specialize in community engagement for the public sector and helping to build trust between the community and governments. And we also help other small businesses learn how to win government contracts and how to sell their services to the government as well. And Latoya and I have partnered on events in the past, and I just really admire She Built This City. And so that's why we are partnering on this again. And so I'm going to be your co-facilitator for today. And why don't we have Latoya Faustin? Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Absolutely. First, Christine, thank you so much for having us, for hosting us on this platform to be able to share about our organization and this amazing workforce development opportunity that we have. So, who am I? I am Latoya Faustin. I am the executive director of She Built This City. We are a nonprofit here in the Charlotte-Mecklenburg County area, focused on igniting interest in construction and the maker trades for girls and career choosing women, as well as non-binary individuals. And so we are bringing some new programming to the Charlotte area, and we are honored to partner with you to get the word out.
Great. So when it comes to this industry, tell us about why it's important for an organization like She Built This City to be involved in this industry.
Absolutely. And I'll start with the slide, that you click to. That is Demi Knight Clark. She is our founder. Spent 20 years in construction and got tired of being the only woman at the table. Wanted to turn that passion into something structured and strategic to change the lens of what does it look like to be in the trades. It's one of those conundrums where this is later in my presentation, but now it's a perfect time to share that the trades, construction in general, has readily been identified as a pathway to upward mobility. You do not have to have a 4-year degree to be successful in this space. Electricians make $80,000 a year on average. That's just average for one particular sector. But women aren't represented for a number of reasons. Historically, systemically, access-wise, there's lots of reasons why women aren't here. And so we are looking to open up a pipeline and a pathway so that women feel safe, comfortable, as well as have the tools, figuratively and literally, that they need to be successful in this pathway. And so that's who we are. That's why these conversations are important. We want to make sure that pathway is accessible, and that we are empowering as many women as possible to take this path of upward mobility that supports both them and their family.
Got it. So this is something that I shared online, and I thought that this was so interesting. This very first bullet, since the start of the pandemic, there's been over a 2% decrease in women in the workforce.
Yes.
And, women are carrying the workforce, but also the labor that they have to do at home, and a lot of tasks, domestic tasks and otherwise, Yes. And so when you talk about women leaving the workforce, where are they going? Does it go into business creation, job creation, really having more support in family structures?
Excellent question. And so that number, the 2% decrease, I also like to talk about 2 other numbers. Mm-hmm. President Biden said in his address a few months ago that 2 million, that represents 2 million women who've left the workforce within the last year. $80 billion in potential revenue that has been lost because women are no longer in that earning seat. And so why? I mean, there's a varied, narrative of what it could look like, but the big buckets that we can put them into is this pandemic put a weight on us all. And again, there's stories, anecdotally for other situations, but by far and large, women held the brunt of the responsibility for childcare. And so, when the questions were put out, in person versus virtual, if a family chose virtual, it was mom who either took a step back from work, changed to virtual, stayed home, or quit. So that she could be, the one at home ensuring that the children were successful in this online environment. That coupled with taking care of aging parents, a similar narrative of if a mother, father-in-law, mother-in-law needed to be cared for, it was the woman in that household that took the step back to care. And then if there were roles that were not considered essential, some of those jobs were taken away. So a little bit, it's hard to say you chose it because that was the choice that was best for you, but did you choose that? You know what I mean? Like, would you have chosen that otherwise? So women are choosing to leave, but because the needs of the family came first. And then as we're looking to go back to in person and companies are giving the option of who wants to come back, by far and large, men are choosing to go back in person for a number of reasons. And women are still choosing to stay home for a number of reasons, but it falls along that same narrative of I'm going to stay home to ensure that the kids have what they need to be successful moving forward into this next school year or whatever that looks like. And so we're seeing the impacts of this pandemic, not only on our health, but just what does it look like for earning potential. And the last thing I'll say on this one is, so say you are going back, but life has changed as we know it, and we're never going to go back. And so women are saying, my employer isn't as responsive to my needs as, a wife, a mother, whatever the case may be. And I need more flexibility, and my employer is seeming not to understand that. And so women are crying out for other solutions. That's one of the reasons why we want to ensure that this pathway is known, because the trades, I like to say, just like being an attorney, is one of those spaces where once you acquire your skill set, your licensure, you can join a company, you can join a firm, you can join a construction company if you want to, or you can start your own business, and you have what it takes to create that independence that you need to meet the needs of you and your family.
Fantastic. So you're going to tell us about some options that women can take, in order to create some more opportunities for them. And it just doesn't look like that one pathway forward. Really, there are other pathways. All right. So tell us a little bit about women in the trades workforce.
Absolutely. So these are just a few bullets just to provide context. So what we're providing is job training. It is not in and of itself a job right now. So we are offering what's called a pre-apprenticeship. Apprenticeship is an antiquated term. I think we've all heard it somewhere. We think like a shoe, or what's it called, a mason, or like, back in the day, those are the apprentices, but that is the way that we train in the trades. And it pretty much means you study under someone else who's been in the field for a long time.
Okay.
What we're offering is a pre-apprenticeship. So we're getting you ready for that step to take a full commitment into one of these trades training pathways. We are coming under the tutelage of an organization, a female-owned plumbing company here in the area called Three-Way Plumbing, Danielle Martini. She is the one that says, I am the apprentice. Like, I am going to be the industry expert that blesses, so to speak, this initiative and endeavor. This is also a space where she could then hire graduates from this program. And so she is our proverbial covering, in that space. And we are then going to be doing some basic entry level work. So 15-week course. Again, I'm going into details, but it applies.
Should I go here or should I go
back? Still go back one. I'm sorry. I just wanted to provide the context that there. So after the end of this 15 weeks, you will not be a master plumber,
Okay.
That's where I was going. It's like we are entry level, but what that means is you would be able to identify all of the tools of the trades. You'll be able to measure, cut, pipe fitting. When someone asks you, or when you see a situation, you know what tools it takes to fix that. And that's what we need to get you in the door. That's what we need to say to, Price, the plumbing company that's looking for thousands of people right now. Hey, they've been in this training program for 15 weeks. They've shown the commitment. They have the good attendance. They show up on time. They understand the basics here. You can get your foot in the door. And that may not sound appealing until you realize in construction, a foot in the door is $15 or $16 an hour. That's what a foot in the door looks like in the trades, because the demand is so high.
Absolutely. And if that's the foot in the door for the trades, then I will tell you the government equivalent of that, if you have a business and you are working to serve the government, I feel like I would call it a snowball effect. Once you get that first opportunity, and then it really snowballs, and your opportunities, they grow and grow. So even though this is a pre-apprenticeship, I think it's important that you say that, because having those first steps are so important to get your foot in the door. So, okay.
Absolutely.
Should I go to the next slide?
Yes, please.
Right.
I was alluding to this, but just about what it means as far as salary. The annual salary for an apprentice plumber, that this means you are learning under someone else. That's where I was alluding to, that $15, an hour, $31,000 a year. So this is the equivalent to going to college. So instead of you paying $31,000 to get your education, someone is paying you $31,000 to learn this skill. Once you achieve that first level of licensure, then that bumps up to $46,000 a year, and then a master plumber, $60,000, and that's in North Carolina. Those numbers fluctuate, but that's on average. So this is a lucrative pathway that people often overlook for lack of knowledge.
Absolutely, yeah. Okay, let's go forward.
Oh, actually, can you go back one slide? There's a video in that previous.
Here. Okay,
yes, there's one woman who chose the plumbing field and her experience there.
Okay, let me just make sure that our live feed is going to be okay. It should be able to. Here we go.
With a bunch of other young men that was working with me, and all the guys got in, but I was told to go home and do dishes. The minute I started doing it, I fell in love with plumbing. The ability to work with my hands. From that first day to this moment, I'm still madly in love with it. And somebody advocated on my behalf to help me get into the union. And since I got in, my life has changed tremendously, because it became an economic equalizer. Being that I'm a Black woman that is 4'11", I get the exact same pay as a guy that is 6 feet. I continue to work. And by doing that, I showed them that I loved it as much as the guys. Now I actually get to work on a job with other female plumbers. So that has been a big change. And I think another big change that I've seen, the men are more accepting. They see me as a coworker, as a person with equal skill, just like them. And I think it's changing because women decided, I know I belong, and I'm going to stay and stick it out and not leave and quit and give up. to help change the landscape of construction and to let people know that there is women building this country and the world everywhere, every day. I want to bring a visibility to the trades so that people in the media change what we see, because this is the only industry that we are not shown. So you see a commercial for a plumber and it's never a woman. You Google plumber and all the pictures are men. So I am trying to make the changes that way. I think if you can't be it if you don't see it. And if the media and people start changing the way we view people and we view jobs and know that jobs don't have genders, they just jobs. It doesn't have to be one. And that's what I am actively trying to change.
How's that? Good.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you very much.
I think there might have been a little bit of a lag, but that's okay. I think we.
Yeah. The point was made.
Yes.
That Judy-Ann Cassidy, she, you know, you heard her story, but what she doesn't talk about in that clip, she's the founder of a sister organization of ours called Tools and Tiaras. So she does girl-centric programming up north in the trades. And so that's a sister, if you all are watching and are looking up north, looking for opportunities, Tools and Tiaras, we highly recommend. And we're hoping to get Judy-Ann down here virtually or really or in person to engage with our women's cohort in plumbing. You can go to the next slide now. Thank you so much, Christine.
Yeah, no, I really enjoyed that. And just kind of her being able to provide that perspective. Okay, can you all see my screen and everything?
Yes.
Okay, and I also want to invite the people that are here with us live. Go ahead, if you have any questions, be sure you type your questions to us and we'll be happy to answer them too.
Perfect. So now let's get into the nitty gritty. I was skipping ahead a little bit. I was so excited sharing our components. But here are the details about our class. So note it's a pre-apprenticeship. You know, we're getting you ready to get that foot in the door. It's a 15-week training and we have 2 cohorts. One starts next month, July 6th through October 5th, and one is October 12th through January 11th. The classes will be held 3 days a week, Tuesdays and Thursday evenings, 6 to 9 p.m., and Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Due to some course content, such as, you know, first aid and OSHA 10, we will have some Wednesdays that will be mandatory, but you will get your schedule and you will see which Wednesdays we will be requiring participants to be there. Saturdays are reserved for our soft skills training. And so soft skills, what does that look like? Teamwork, conflict management. A huge part of construction is teamwork and communication. Can you get along with the people on the site when you're communicating what's need to be done? So teamwork, conflict management, financial education. Our partners at True Liant Federal Credit Union have committed to 2 weeks of financial education. Christine doesn't know this. We're also going to be looping in Amplify at some point. This is actually how we first connected, about making sure that our graduates from our program get connected to what does it mean to get government contracts. So if they want to go into the entrepreneurship pathway, how do we empower them to put an exponent behind their earning potential? And so that's coming too. So that's what our week looks like. This one is in the evening. And so we are trying to accommodate the fact that you probably are working somewhere else or in school somewhere else or have other commitments. And so we're trying to accommodate that schedule so that you can then choose a new pathway after you finish our class. And so basic knowledge gained, you know, how to join a pipe with sweating and chemical materials, rough and plumbing systems, pressure tests, installing plumbing and repair basic plumbing problems. We will be focusing on both residential and commercial plumbing. And so residential is in your home. So basic in-home repairs and how to lay pipe that's needed for home focus and repair. And then there's construction for the commercial side. So big businesses, schools, apartment complexes, and our job sites will reflect that. I can say now, because they're already confirmed, one of our job site visits is with Rebuilding Together, one of our partners. So we'll see some homes in repair. We'll get some hands-on experience there. Another partner is Moran Builders. That's a commercial builder that we'll get to go and see a project in process. So this is real life hands-on. We want to get you job ready in a short amount of time. As I mentioned, we will also have OSHA 10. OSHA is safety. So this is your basics of your safety. How do you go on a job site to ensure you and your teammates are safe? First aid, CPR, personal safety, and self-defense. We know that this is real life. We know that being a woman, as Judy Ann said, she was 4 feet, tall. We want you to feel safe and secure in every sense of the word. And so self-defense is a part of what we'll also be ensuring that our graduates have. You can go to the next slide.
First of all, I would love to take some self-defense classes. I think that is awesome that you're able to offer that as a part of this. That's huge. That's a big deal, especially as a woman.
Absolutely. So if and when you sign up, or if you just want more information, this is a week by week overview of what we'll be covering. I won't try to go through each and every one of those, but you can see, or you may not be able to see, we start off, with math for plumbing and valves. We talk about, toilets and sink repairs. All these things will be in person. We'll have a simple toilet. We'll have a simple water heater. We'll talk about tankless water heaters, faucets, water filtration. So again, all general, think about general knowledge. So again, you will know the terms and the tools and general functionality of all these pieces. One thing I've said to some of our partners is, maybe you don't want to change careers just yet. You don't want a career in the trades, but you just want to be more knowledgeable of the functioning of your home, and how things work. And so this is something, if that is your interest, this is also a space for you. I wanted to note that because we are an upward mobility focused training program, we are providing other supports as well. I'm not sure if this is on the next slide or not, but I'm going to mention it here just in case I forget. We're providing a weekly stipend. Oh, this is perfect. We'll be providing a weekly stipend, a travel stipend. So I say travel, but if you want to use it for other means, it's up to you. A weekly stipend to say, hey, we know that you're making a sacrifice to come out here and to learn. Here are funds to help, whether it's transportation or childcare, because we are providing school-aged childcare while you're there. And it'll be, basic homework support, some arts and crafts, some hands-on experiences there that your child will be near you and safe. So you don't have to choose between where does my child need to be right now and I want to go to this class. So that is important to us. Being an organization that serves women, we wanted to make sure that we're addressing some of the common barriers that women face in this space. Let me see here. We talked about the basic apprenticeship helper. We are working though on other pathways. Again, we're just the launching pad, and we're providing, we're working really hard to provide partnerships with other organizations who can take you to the next level. So who are those other organizations? We're talking to CPCC and their plumbing apprenticeship, as well as some of their other 2-year degrees. They have scholarships. If you've shown commitment to a trade and a pathway, there's over $2 million worth of scholarships if you wanted to continue to study. And a recommendation from us that says they were in our plumbing pre-apprenticeship and they're now ready to take the full course. What financial supports do you have? So if you wanted to pursue that, you could. We have a number of employers who are just chomping at the bit, so to speak, to get to our graduates, because the demand for, if you've had any home repairs needed, number one, it took a while to get somebody there, and it was a high price because they can name their price. And so people are just waiting for help. So although we fall short of guaranteeing you a job, we don't put that guaranteed step. Know that we're going to present you and give you pathways to multiple spaces to be able to be employed in here. And if you put forth your best effort, we're going to put forth ours to ensure that you can get a job in this space, if that's what you choose. The last one I'd say is, after the plumbing pre-apprenticeship, we have another pilot program that we're launching, and that is our all women's repair crew. And so this is taking it to the next level to say, let's get I'm calling it the general studies of the trades, from assembly to painting to light, plumbing repair, light fixture, electrical wiring repair, cabinetry, window, door installation. And we'll be working with our partners at Lowe's and Handy.com to create this women's repair crew so you can get paid immediately, but then also grow your skill set. So there may be a chance to be employed by She Built This City after you finish your plumbing repair course as well.
So you could get paid immediately. You could get paid down the road. You could get employed or get additional help with CPCC, the National Association of the Remodeling Industry. All of these skilled trades associations are looking for people with these skills.
They are. And they're coming beside us, behind us, around us to help us bring this to life. Shonda wasn't able to join us, but she's our workforce director. We're out there making connections. Felicia, I believe she's watching. We're knocking down everybody's door saying, look, this is coming. Help us bring this to life. Help us support these women who are pursuing this pathway. And let's get them employed. Let's get them good paying, career changing, life trajectory changing jobs. And so everyone is supporting, and coming alongside us to make that happen.
Okay.
Oh, here's Felicia. Yes.
Okay. And then so how do we apply?
Yes, so you apply on our website, shebuiltthecity.org/workforce development. You will see the explanation of both the plumbing pre-apprenticeship as well as our women's repair crew. The link to apply to the plumbing program is on that site, and it's a simple form. Again, we're an access program. We're not trying to bring barriers. We just want to know a little bit more about you, why you want to be in the program. You apply. As soon as you apply, within 24 hours, you'll get a follow-up email from Shonda to schedule a 30-minute interview. Again, just learning some basics about you, and then you're move forward to the next level. And again, this is our last week of recruiting for this particular cohort. But if the timing is too fast for you, or if you have current commitments for the summer, we have a fall cohort that begins in October, and you can apply for that now as well. And so if you're on in the very beginning, I mentioned we have about 4 seats left in our summer cohort, and we have 10 seats left in our fall. So if you're interested in either one, today's the day to apply. If you just want to learn more, my email is also on that website. Feel free to reach out to myself, and we'll make sure that you get the connections that you need to make the best decisions for you and your family.
Okay, good. We did get one question to come in to the chat. It was sent directly. It says, does this training cost anything?
Excellent question. Thanks to the generous sponsorship of our partners at Moen, Lowe's, and Three-Way Plumbing, there is no cost to participants to be in this training program. So there is no cost to the participants. And we're grateful for our partners to stepping up to the table. Because again, I'm telling y'all, people are pushing, like, we need this, we support this, and they're making it happen. They're making it happen.
Right. And if we go back, this is a free 15-week training. Let me see if I can go back a few slides. 15 weeks. And you get all of these skills and knowledge gained in additional training for OSHA, first aid, and personal safety and self-defense. So yeah, that's a fantastic opportunity. And like you said, it's leading up to your degree. It almost is, and I don't want to, misrepresent what you're saying, but is that right? So it's almost the equivalent of getting a certification or a degree to go into this field, right?
It falls just short of a certification. But what it does, it bridges the knowledge gap to make you the strongest candidate to go to that next level. So one of the things we face here in the world where apprenticeships were more prevalent, you learned this from someone in your family. Like, you learned these basics. And so if there was a plumbing job, oh yeah, I can do that. My dad taught me X, Y, and Z. But we've grown up in generations where I don't even know which is the blue pipe and the red pipe. Well, I don't know where they connect. Like, so if you were even interested in entering this space, you're starting like 10 steps behind. We're bringing you to the starting line and giving you a step forward to say, I'm coming to this not green, meaning no experience. I actually have some experience. I know what a job site looks like. I know my basic safety. I know all the tools. I know all my fittings. And so you are above the crowd of applicants to say, I am ready for this position. And if you hire me, you won't be disappointed. So not exactly a certification. We're getting you at the front of the door, the front of the line to say, when you choose me, I'm going to be fast tracked to be successful in this space.
Got it. Well, let's go back where we stopped at.
And this is another story. If we're able to do the YouTube link there, if we can see how the syncing goes, but this is another woman who's the first master plumber in the United States.
Okay, let's see if the video pulls up. Here we go. So y'all let us know if you have any other questions as well. I'm gonna go ahead and try to unmute this.
I'm the first licensed female master plumber in North America and licensed female licensed plumbing contractor in North America. This is a legacy for my children and anyone else that wants to be involved in the family business. I've been blessed to be given the opportunity to be in a position where I can hire people to work under my license and they can get a quality training where they can get life skills and where they'll never have to be unemployed, never be hungry, naked, and where they'll never be homeless.
As Detroit recovers from its financial crisis, there's much new construction and renovation work going on. Benkari, with 15 employees, has been involved with numerous projects, including Little Caesars Arena and the Anthony Wayne Apartments on Wayne State's campus.
The difference is that there are other women doctors now. There are other women attorneys now. There aren't any other women master plumbers. So it's still a challenge when it comes to that. And I'm working really hard on changing that.
Adrian's 2 sons are also working with her as she views Benkari as a legacy to them.
My children know how I am. They know my expectations. They know that I have high expectations, but the thing about it is that I give 100%, so I expect 100% back.
Wow. Okay. Another awesome story. The first female master plumber
In North America. Yes. So it's, when we talk about, breaking glass ceilings, they've been broken. We have women in the forefront making this happen, but it's not a prevalent story. And both of those stories are up north, where unions are a strong force there. Here in the South, the story is different. And so we're ready to help women break those barriers down here in this space to be that first in our area. So it is, again, it's a journey, and we're giving you, again, a good starting point to say, I am interested in this. I want to move forward. And what she says there is so poignant. This is a skill set. If you master it, you'll never be hungry. People always need the work of a plumber, always, and that translates to multiple sectors of the trades. And so you will never be hungry. You will never be without a home. Your children will always have, because this is something that no one can ever take away from you, and a skill set that helps you provide.
Absolutely. I'm monitoring to see if we have any other questions coming in, but if there are other questions in the room here today, please do put those in the chat and let us know. I did have a question.
Yes.
So when you talk about the trades industry, and like you were saying, you won't be without a job. It's always in high demand, right? It's really kind of a frontline essential service. So
Yes.
How close is something like this when it comes to plumbing? How close is that to other trades like construction and building?
It's extremely close. There are so many, how do I say, cross points of this. So for instance, what we're doing now with plumbing, some of the basic math, that translates to all sectors because it's the tape measure. And although it may seem very simple, if you missed that third grade, class in fractions,
Yeah.
an eighth, 5, 7/8 and 1/3, you could be off just by a little bit, but that means that whole wall needs to be redone.
Yeah.
So some of the basics of math, using the speed square, using some of the tools, what does it mean to be successful on a job site? Those translate. And the sector that is most closely related to plumbing is HVAC. So air conditioning and heaters. That's most directly related to. And so our technicians could be hired not only by a plumber, they could be hired by a HVAC company. They could be water filtration. Danielle, who's over our programming, she listed off about 5 different other tangential jobs that if you weren't in the straight line of plumbing, there are all these other sectors related to plumbing that you could be connected with. Christina, there's one more thing I didn't discuss just because it's new since we did this presentation, we created this PowerPoint. We were very fortunate to receive a Grow with Google grant. And we're partnering with an organization called Informative Technologies. They are a workforce innovation hub here in Charlotte that talks about, how do you use technology to, and data science, some of your people, and data science to like transform communities. So we have this innovative idea, and Google co-signed on it, that not only will we be getting the basic trades for our participants, every person in our first 2 cohorts will also get a laptop. And that is because the future of the trades is technology.
Yep.
The example that I like to use is if your garage isn't working, your garage door isn't working. It could be because it's off the hinge, and it needs to be manually adjusted. Or if you have an Amazon garage door opener like I do, it could be because your internet modem is disconnected and it needs to be rewired. So we need technicians in the trades who understand the Internet of Things, because smart homes is the now. Your LG refrigerator can also get on the internet. So these are the things that we're preparing our skills trade for. So just know that we're going to be giving you some basic digital literacy as well, so that you can access the Internet of Things. Again, it won't be master in it.
Right. But did I hear you correctly in saying that participants in the first 2 cohorts will receive laptops?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. I'm putting this down here in the resource in the chat here.
Thank you.
Wow.
Yeah, I know we need to update the PowerPoint.
Congratulations
Thank you.
on getting the Grow with Google grant. That's fantastic. Yeah, and I do know Informative Technology. I feel like I've worked with them before.
Yes.
And digital inclusion definitely used to be my area. So yeah, that's awesome that you all are able to do that. Okay, I'm kind of curious. What's up next? Let me see if I click next.
I think we're close to the end here. Yeah, Q&A.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so there's opportunity. The application is open. The
Yes.
application is closing when?
Friday.
On
the 18th,
Friday.
for
So-
this first cohort.
Okay. So for the first cohort, the application will close this Friday on June 18th. However, it sounded like if you needed a little bit more time or rescheduling, it sounds like there's an opportunity to join the fall cohort too.
Yes.
Or they can reach out to you. Okay, good.
Yes, the fall cohort is open now, and we're taking applications for that through September. So you have more time.
Okay. Other questions? Are there any other questions for LaToya while she's here? I feel like we learned so much.
No, thank you. Thank you for hosting this. Thank you for the people who are here live. Thank you to those who will be viewing this, tonight at dinner. We're trying to change the narrative, and we know that to prepare a workforce for jobs that have not been created, we have to innovate. in this space. And so we're going to do the traditional plumbing pathway, and we're also going to provide you with the technologies of the future, because that's where we're going. And we want you to be able to navigate both worlds.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you. Make sure.
Thank you.
Okay.
And again, it's shebuiltthiscity.org. You know, anything and everything you need is there, including getting in contact with us. Either Felicia or myself will respond to you if you send the email to info@shebuiltthiscity.org. And so it's not one of those idle email boxes that no one checks. You know, we shoot to make sure that we have 24 to 48 hour responses, any outreaches from our website. So please reach out. We are an upward mobility focused workforce development solution, and we're really excited. Thank you, Christine, again, for opening up this.
Looks like the website is being shared and the email is being shared now. You all can feel free to reach out to me as well if you want to learn more about Amplify Charlotte and what we do in terms of working with the government. You can always visit amplifycharlotte.com. But thank you so much for your partnership, LaToya, and good luck with everything. Listen, I'm going to be sending some people your way.
Thank you.
I'm definitely going to be sharing the application with the women in my network, and also the men who who have relationships with women in business and in their families. And so I definitely want to share it as much as we can. And y'all, if you have any questions, feel free to reach back out.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
All right, I ended the recording. Now I'm going to stop the live.